everybody, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete, here late at night. Are you guys ready for a nighttime gardening adventure? I'm ready to show you something pretty cool that I've been waiting for a couple of years. I'm gonna give this light to the camera lady. Let me show you what we got tonight. My dragon fruit cactus has a flower, and the flower is opened up. And we're in this sweet spot right now, a sweet spot of only about an hour or two of time where both male and female parts of the flower are open and the pollen is fresh, so we can hand pollinize this flower. So let me explain. This is the dragon fruit flower. It's the first one I've ever had on this plant. Oh, it smells really fragrant and very sweet. The smell is intoxicating. It's an amazing smell. And these flowers have male and female parts. And typically what you want to do to ensure that you'll get a really good dragon fruit is take the pollen from the male part of one species of dragon fruit and touch it to the female part of a different species of dragon fruit. But I only have this one flower blooming right now, so I'm gonna have to do an experiment and see if this variety is self-pollinating, if this variety can pollinate itself. And God said, "Let there be light." And it was good. I got this new cool light so I can show you guys a better view of the dragon fruit flower. So check it out. Here's the flower, and you can see all the pollen that's underneath. So get it nice and close so you guys can see. See at the bottom of the white petals, all the pollen that's just sitting there on the petals. And this part of the flower right here, all this inner part, that's the male part called the anthers. And this part right here is the female part called the pistil, and the tip of the pistil right here is called the stigma. So we have the anthers, the male part, and the stigma, the female part. And I brought with me a little bit of a disc so that you guys can see what the pollen looks like. So let me brush some pollen in this disc here. And you guys can see all that pollen is now sitting in this disc, and it looks kind of like a powder, like a yellowish white powder. So that's just pollen that's fallen naturally, and we have to rely on nighttime flying insects or bugs or bats or birds or whatever's around here to pollinize it. So since this is my first flower, I'm going to pollinize it myself. I'm going to take my disc and put it on the ground for a second. I'm going to take my brush. If you guys can get it nice and close, you can see I'm going to coat my entire brush full of the male pollen. And now this brush is full of the pollen on the tip there. I'm going to take it and just gently brush it all against the stigma. If you guys subscribe to my channel, hit the like button right now. I'll come back to you with an update and we'll find out together if this was a self-pollinating species or variety of dragon fruit or not. I'm going to also get in here and get some more pollen by gathering it directly from the anthers. Now I've got a whole brush full of pollen. I'm going to put some more here on the stigma, on the female part. You can also use your hand or your fingers, but my lovely camera lady had this incredible makeup brush that was brand new, and I assured her that nothing bad would happen to the makeup brush. So I'll have to go out tomorrow and buy one of these brushes myself if this cactus will be producing more flowers like this. So I'm just gonna thoroughly coat the female part with the male pollen. And what you could do is, if you know you have a couple different varieties of dragon fruit, you can take the male pollen and capture a whole bunch in your disc and save it maybe in the fridge for later. When you have a separate flower bloom, you can use the pollen from one variety of dragon fruit to pollinize a different variety, because most dragon fruit flowers, they will be more successfully pollinated with different varieties of dragon fruit. If I were to leave this flower by itself and didn't pollinize it, it could turn into a fruit by itself, okay? But it may be a little smaller, it may not be as delicious, it may not be as striking to look at. So I'm gonna make sure that by hand pollinating this guy with this brush, that it's for sure gonna grow into an incredibly delicious, plump, and visually appealing dragon fruit. Now I'm telling you guys one thing, you can wait until about 10 or 11 p.m. to pollinate these flowers, or you can just use your senses, you know, sense of sight. This guy looks open and gorgeous. Sense of smell. Oh, it smells so potent. It's almost intoxicating, it smells so good. I'll tell you what, if a girl smelled like this, I'd be completely at her mercy. I'm so looking forward to eating this dragon fruit with you guys, so stay tuned in the weeks ahead to see how this flower matures into a beautifully delicious and visually striking fruit. You guys can find me on Snapchat and Instagram at Jake Mace Tai Chi, or you can go to my Urban Gardening in Arizona Facebook group. This flower is just so gorgeous.